In England, they speak English. America used to be England. George Washington, when he was born an Englishman. And so a lot of our traditions and a lot of things that we do in America stems from those traditions or the English or the Western societies or Western world. And it has to go that we actually were England at one time, a very long time ago. But at one time we were England. George Washington and several of the first presidents were born English. England is located in the very western part of the known Western world at that time. Go back about 500 years ago. That is the known world. Got Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, some of the Pacific islands out there. That was everything everybody knew. They didn't know about North America and South America. So what they knew they had to do is that they had two ways to make money. One is to wage war, and you go and kill your enemy and take their stuff, and you own their possessions. The second was you would trade goods. You would take your stuff that you're making, you go over there and you sell it to them. You buy some of their stuff and you bring it back home and you sell it to your people, and then you buy some of your own stuff that your own people are making, you take it over there, and you're back and forth, making money. The Queen of England lived in the West. She wanted to trade with the people in the East. So she would go to the East, and at the beginning it was going to India and to the western part of China and Nepal and those areas, the Himalayan areas. Eventually they would go even further to the far east, which would be Hong Kong and Singapore and all the way to Japan and Tokyo. And they would bring their goods from Europe and they would take them over to the East and sell them there. To do so, they would have to travel through the middle part. The middle part going to the east, or the Middle East. And so they would travel through the middle to get to the east to sell their goods, and they'd get some money. They'd buy some of those goods, some silk or spices, and they'd bring them back to Europe, and they would sell them there and make some money and buy some goods from Europe, some swords and some armor, and take it across back and forth. They would make money. Now, the people in the middle of that, in the Middle East, they made tons of money too, because it's always good to be the middleman. Look at Amazon today, look at Walmart today. They don't make anything, they just sell stuff, and they're the middleman. So you had the Persian Empire was in the Middle East. You had the Roman Empire took over the Middle East. Then eventually the Byzantine Empire, which is the son of the Roman Empire, took over the Middle East and was one of the richest empires for hundreds of years until they were eventually conquered by the Ottomans. And so the Ottoman Empire was another super rich empire for hundreds of years until eventually it got dismantled and became Turkey. And Turkey is doing very, very well. All those empires were basically middlemen that people would come through there and they say, hey, whoa, pay a little tax, pay a little toll, and you can pass on through, and we'll let you go through safely. And then back and forth they'd go. Once in a while they say, hey, somebody come by and say, can we open a shop here and sell stuff from England or from France here? And they say, sure. Pay some taxes, sell your goods, we all make money, everybody's happy. Queen or King of England, they wanted to sell their items to Japan. They would have to travel from the west. They would have to go to the east and sell their goods, and to do so they would have to pass through the Middle East to get to the east, or even go to the far east to sell their goods. The left-hand side of a map is always the west, the right-hand side of the map is always the east, the top is always the north, the bottom is always the south. No matter what map you're looking at, it always stays the same. So that's how we got to the Middle East. And today, you read the newspapers. Well, nobody reads the newspapers. You watch TV, you read something online, and they talk about the Middle East. They're talking about the area that's between Europe, Asia, and Africa, and it's pretty much centralized in the middle of the whole area. And it's a very important area in the world, historically, and even today, it's still a very important area in the world.